Hmm. Hello. Hi, 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 hi. Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully, everyone is doing well today. Hopefully, everyone's doing well today. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about how to stroke his ego and his masculine pride. Oh, there I am. Y'all, I'm just trying to get everything set up so I can see the chat. Hello, 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 Pedal Wives. How are you doing? Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day. If this is the first time you've been in a live stream with me, my name is Brill, and welcome to the Pedestal Wife Society. So, let's talk about how to stroke a man's ego and his masculine pride. The first thing, before you even attempt to stroke a man's ego, I need you to get present and in your body. Why? Because the best way to get a man's attention and for a man to think this is a genuine compliment is for you to come from a seductress standpoint. So, what I would say to do before you even go to giving him a compliment or any of that stuff, the first thing you would need to do is maybe put on that dress that makes you feel sexy. Maybe put on those shoes that make you feel like you are that girl. Maybe put on makeup that makes you feel like you are that girl. Do things that are going to get you in your body and make you feel and in touch with that seductress energy. Because when you are stroking a man's ego and his masculine pride, seduction is the name of the game. In order for him to really get into it and relax and release his guard, he has to feel that you're into it. So that was the very first thing I would say to do is whatever makes you or get you to that point where you feel sexy, you feel present, you feel like you're a queen, you feel like you are that girl. Do that prior. If that means sex, dancing, makeup, shoes, dresses, whatever it is, because everyone has something different that makes them feel like that they are that girl. You want to get in contact with that energy first before you start stroking any egos or masculine pride. So that's the very first thing I would do. The second thing is give genuine compliments. I think that we stay in a society that actually thinks telling another person something that they know is a compliment. I can tell you now, if you've went your entire life and someone has told you every single day of your life that you're pretty or you're gorgeous or you're a 10, that compliment no longer hits like it used to. It doesn't mean anything to you because you've heard it all of your life. We have to learn how to give genuine compliments. Genuine compliments is the name of the game. In order to give a genuine compliment, one of the things you need to pay attention to is pay attention to something that he is proud of or something he is nervous about. If he is nervous about or proud of, the reason I say both because both of them may work because men are not a monolith, they're not the same. One man may really fall into you and lean into you based off of you focusing on something he's weak at and giving him a compliment. And another man may fall into you based off the fact that you notice that he's trying or he's accomplishing something. So you have to me, it's like a trial and error type of thing in order to make sure that I'm going to be able to stroke his ego and masculine pride. I absolutely know it's not something that I'm thinking about or that I daydream about that I am. I know for facts that I am a professional ego stroker when it comes to men. When it comes to men, I know how to size them up, read them well, and hit where the compliment is going to mean something. And that is something that is a lost art. A lot of people will give you the same compliment over and over and over and think that it means something when it doesn't. So always go for a genuine compliment. And if you want for the go for the coup de grace, if you want to go for the coup de grace, you're going to do it in front of peers. Front of peers also. So don't be scared of stroking his ego and masculine pride alone, but make sure that you save that coup de grace, that compliment that you were gonna give, hold it back and do it in front of his peers. That right there is a home run every single time. So first tip for the people who are just coming in, you're gonna get in that seduction energy. You're going to be and tap into that seductious energy for yourself, whatever makes you feel good and makes you feel like you are that girl. Second, you're going to make sure you're going for a genuine compliment. Remember, if you've been told that you're pretty all of your life, someone walking up to you and saying that you're pretty means nothing now. It doesn't hit the same like it did the first time. So you're going to pay attention, listen to something maybe that he is weak in or he's proud of. And you're going to do trial and error to see which one is going to get you the outcome that you're looking for. And really, the outcome for this would be for him to lean in and lessen his guard and let you in. That is the outcome. You want him to relax. You want him to trust you. You want to get closer to him, because a lot of the women on my page, the pedestal wives in my community, we want to get married. We want that ring on our finger. We want our names on his papers. We want to be his wife. So you want trust. That's what you're looking for. All right. So next step, listen. Listening. I know that sounds like a simple step. Like, why would you even say listening? But I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter. A lot of people listen to respond, but they don't listen to comprehend. So make sure that you're listening. Make sure that you are all in. Make sure that you're not communicating two different things. Remember, I did that video, maybe was it a couple of days back, where I talked about communicating two different things, and a lot of us don't realize what we're communicating because we don't pay attention to it. Think about it like this. If I am leaning all the way back in my chair, right? I'm leaning all the way back in my chair, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love the restaurant. You have such great taste. But I'm leaning away from him. I just communicated two different things, and I didn't realize it. Leaning back in my chair away from him shows that there's some distance. That maybe what I'm saying isn't necessarily true. And men pay attention to the body language and what you're communicating to him. So what are you communicating? If you want to become a professional male ego stroker, and usually I can 10 out of 10 normally hit it out the park because I read men very well, don't communicate two different things. Don't be saying, oh, I just love this restaurant that we're at, and then you're leaning away and you're closed off. You're away from him. He's going to pay attention to the leaning away and the leaning back, not what you're saying. So make sure that we're in alignment to what we say and what we communicate as far as our body language and our facial expressions. Always, and also remember this. This is something I had learned. So I made this mistake so you don't have to. Never compliment something that you do not want to continue. I don't care if you feel like this is the coup de grace, that this is going to be a hit out the park, that he's going to fall into your lap. But if it's something that you don't necessarily like, it's still going to take a dangerous path. And you don't want to do that to yourself. I learned that the hard way. I've always been pretty good with men because, one, I've been raised around men. Most of my family is men. So I learned how to get to their egos and what made them tick, and trial and error. How can I get the best outcome in the responses? One of the things I learned, if I complimented a particular thing, but I didn't like it, it will continue. So don't do that to yourself. Just remember this little piece of advice. What I compliment will continue. So if you are trying to get him to fall into you and, release those shields and start to trust you, and you say something along the lines, oh, this food is so good, knowing it's nasty. This food is so good, knowing it's burnt. This food is so good, knowing you don't like that particular thing on your plate. He's going to continue to make that same meal for you over and over and over, because that you're giving him a compliment. Maybe it's something he's not strong in. Maybe it's something he's proud of. And you immediately stroking his ego, making him think that it's something that you want to happen over and over and over again. So always remember this rule. No matter how good you get at stroking a man's ego, I don't care how much of a professional you are of it, do not compliment things that you do not want to continue. Learn how to use your feminine communication to communicate to him and articulate to him that maybe this is something I don't care for. Or, this isn't my cup of tea. Like, this really doesn't fit me. I just don't feel like this is a good idea. Like, you have to learn how to do that and speak up for yourself. Me teaching you how to be a professional ego stroker, it is not for you to get tons of things that you don't want. What we want to do, we want to magnify the things you do want and get more of it. But if you compliment things that you don't like, you will continue that in men. Y'all, and I was going to talk about the research that they've done on the dogs. Remember the research? I can't remember the exact name off the top of my head, but I don't want to equate men to dogs. I am saying about the actual research, how every time the dog, they rung a bell for the dog and fed him, the dog started to slobber, and they were hungry. They were sitting here waiting. Think about it along that line. Not that the men are dogs. We would never do that. No slander to men over here, okay? No slander to men over here. But it's the same idea, the same concept, right? That if you continue to compliment something that you do not want to continue, then you're going to get more of it. That is just the basic rule. So be very careful what you compliment and what you go along with, because more of that behavior will continue. Also, stop equating love to men in the manner that women love. Men they don't mind love, they don't mind taking care of, they don't mind protecting, they don't mind giving safety and security, but men will never view it in the manner that we do. What's more important to a man, if you want to stroke his ego, if you want to be a professional ego stroker and build that masculine pride in him, respect. Men think respect is equal to love for them. They would prefer you to respect them versus love them. So make sure that we understand what that looks like for that particular man. Realize that men are not a monolith. One thing may be respectful to one man that isn't respectful to another. And that's all dependent on their family relationships and how they grew up and what models that they have as men to determine that. So that's about paying attention. Paying attention. Just pay attention, be present, and listen. And you'll figure out what a man views as being disrespectful. All right, so respect is the love for men. So if you want to get better and better at being a professional ego stroker and building masculine pride, respect is key. Make sure that we don't have a problem of confirming satisfaction. A lot of women, I've realized that at one point, women understood that we had to be either vocal or showing our body language what we want from another person. Now we became different over time, that we have a problem even suggesting or asking or confirming our satisfaction. It's almost like we're scared to confirm that we like something or scared to confirm that we don't like something. Confirming satisfaction is very important to a male's ego. He has to know what you like. So if you like that he is giving you a gift, maybe you were out shopping with him and you saw this beautiful necklace, and here he comes with that beautiful necklace because he wanted to make you happy. But all he got from you was like, ooh, thank you. Yeah, confirming satisfaction is very important to a male's ego. He want to make sure. So you have to realize men are here to not only satisfy, protect, give security, be the warriors in our life. They want to make sure that the woman that they are with, that they completely satisfied, that they can make happy. If you can't confirm satisfaction, it becomes an issue. So if he was to go and purchase that necklace for you, don't hold back your genuine like for the necklace. I know sometimes I even say sometimes the only thing is needed is a thank you. Trust me when I tell you there's a time and place for that. Sometimes it's just appropriate to say thank you. And then sometimes it's appropriate to squeal like a little girl to show that you are confirming the satisfaction that you are getting from that necklace. Sometimes men, this helps to stroke his ego and masculine pride when he sees, guess what? I can satisfy my woman. She is happy and content. I can protect her. I can give her security. I can give her safety. I can financially secure her. When a man feels that he's able to do all these things to it, it adds to his satisfaction and it strokes his ego. A lot of us think that men only look at selfish men may. Selfish men may look at what they're getting out of the relationship, but majority of men that understand the dynamic between men and women want to satisfy, want to know that the woman that they are with is completely satisfied in all areas of her life. And he wants to see that reaction. Sometimes I feel like women are so grown and so independent, so boss babe, so hustle, so grind, and in their masculine energy that some of y'all have forgot to squeal like a little girl when he gives you something that you wanted or you desire, and he just surprises you with it. He wants to see that satisfaction. He wants you to confirm satisfaction. That could be just squealing like a little girl. That could be jumping up and down. He wants to see that he can satisfy his woman. Give him that. And that is stroking his ego and masculine pride. Don't be afraid to let a man know that he makes you feel safe. You will get more of it. Trust me when I tell you, the more that you compliment the things that you want to continue, the more of it you will receive. But the more that you accept things that you do not want, the more of that you receive. That is the golden rule. A lot of women have, it's been lost along the way. So this live stream is not about you trying to figure out how just to make him happy. What it is trying to make you aware that your happiness is valuable to him. Men who are healthy and masculine energy, they want your satisfaction. They want your love. They want you to be secure. They want you to confirm satisfaction with them. They want to know that they're doing a good job. And they want to know when they're not doing a good job. It's not one-sided in that area. These things stroke his ego and secures his masculine pride. One of the things that is repelling men is that women have gotten to this place of being stagnant, where they don't want, well, I ain't gonna say don't want, I think they do want it, they just don't know how to articulate their needs. They don't know and understand the dynamic between the masculine and feminine energy or polarity. So they tend to fumble the bag. See, men that are healthy in masculine energy, they want you to confirm satisfaction. They want you to stroke his ego and masculine pride. They want you to be a happy woman. They want you to be giddy. They want all of these things from you. And men who don't, these are the men we move around from. But there's nothing wrong with letting a man know that he makes you feel safe. He makes you, do y'all realize that since men are equivalent to warriors, y'all, I don't say king. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna start right here. I don't ever say kings, because kings were the ones who just gave direction and they sat on the throne and just got fat, overweight, and sloppy. Warriors were the ones who went out here and fought for land, who pushed forward. They're the ones who actually got into the mist and into the mud of things to make things happen. So men want to know that they are your warriors. They want to know that you feel safe with them. There's nothing, a man will just break and release that shield that he has surrounding himself when he knows that he makes you feel safe. There's nothing wrong with saying, oh my gosh, just being with you makes me feel safe. Just makes me feel safe. And that right there to a masculine energy man is almost like kryptonite. Just like kryptonite, he is just going to fall. His shields are going to start to tumble. He's going to start to trust you. But you have to, don't lie to him. If he doesn't make you feel safe, that's your first indicator to move around. That's your first indicator that he isn't the man for you. But if you are feeling safe with this man, if he is making you feel like you can trust him, like you can just release your own shields and you don't have to be on guard all the time. You don't got to protect yourself all the time. If he's making you feel these things, don't shy away from telling him, because masculine energy wants to know that their princess is safe, she's secure, she's financially happy, she is able to thrive, and she is able to live her best life. So let's see what everybody's saying here. I'm going to stop here for a second. Hi, Better Wife. How are you doing, Amber? I like to stroke his ego in front of our kids. They then join the praise too. Absolutely. Like, that's the coup de grace right there. If you were to wait until he is around his peers to compliment him, you will see him just puff out his chest and walk a little taller and a little straighter, because men love to be praised in front of other people. In front of every people. It works all the time. Hello, everyone. Hi. Can you cover why ego stroke can backfire? The guy thinking he's too good or can do better. The thing is, since I like to come from, when I talk about being a professional ego stroker, I don't stroke egos just to stroke egos. So the thing is, we shouldn't do, as a feminine energy being, we should not be stroking any man's ego that doesn't have the deserving of that ego stroke. See, the thing is, when you compliment something, it will continue. So I'm very big on that. I know a lot of people say, oh, just say that he's handsome or he smells good. Say all these things that really don't matter, because those type of compliments really do not hit home for a masculine energy man in the first place. But if that man didn't do anything to compliment him, to deserve complimenting his ego, then don't do so. Make sure that we keep that to ourselves and we don't sit here and blow up someone's ego or head when there's no deserving of it. And because honestly, if you do it for the right guy, it never backfires. That's the key. It never backfires when it's done for the right guy. And if you compliment a man's ego and he decides to have a big head because of it and starts to mistreat you or starts to do things that's not going to be complementary to a relationship, then guess what? That's when it's time to move around. As a feminine energy being, it is our responsibility to protect our feminine energy. This also includes not complimenting men that don't deserve that compliment. So you really can't it will not backfire with a masculine energy man. He's going to take it with a grain of salt if it's not a genuine compliment in the first place. But if it is a genuine compliment, it's going to do what it needs to do to build trust in the relationship and for him to view you as the feminine energy being that you are. So it really can't go badly because you're going to be making sure he's deserving of it in the first place. That is one of the responsibilities as a feminine energy being. We do not just walk around just complimenting Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes in our line of sight. We literally give compliments when compliments are due because we're protecting our energy. We know how valuable our energy is. But like I said, it really can't backfire. I've never ever experienced of it backfiring because I don't give it just easily. I make sure I take my time to pay attention to what is this man proud of. I pay attention to what is this man kind of shaky on? What is this man learning and he's not sure of? And then that's where I'm going to direct my compliment to. And I won't give that compliment to him unless it deserves it. And if he was to ever, and like I said, I've never experienced it because normally I tend to deal with masculine energy men in the first place, and I don't have the experience of it backfiring. But if it was to backfire and you give a man a compliment and it goes to his head and he acts all arrogant and overbearing, then you move around from him. Warrior, I love that. Yes, I love that. I don't care for the king analogies because the king didn't do anything. He gave a lot of direction and he delegated a lot. He really, and a lot of things he inherited too. The world that we currently live in, we don't need kings, we need warriors. We need men who are willing to go out and get it out of the mud. We need men who have grit. We need men who are willing to test their manhood. We don't need a king who's only willing to delegate. We don't need a king that just has only leadership skills. We need someone who can fight and not just fight physically, but we need a warrior who can fight on all levels. See, even warriors were very intelligent. That's the thing. Do y'all know it was a warrior that started the whole thing, the whole trend of getting on one knee? When y'all love proposals, right? Y'all love when a man proposes to a woman. Do you all know it was a warrior who started that trend? It wasn't a king. A king didn't do that. See, even the warriors were very intelligent. See, when I'm thinking of warrior, I'm thinking of a man who has that grit, who can get out of the mud, who's very intelligent, who knows how to fight in all angles, not just with his fist. And yes, a warrior can also delegate too. So I don't like kings, and I don't have a king over here. I have a warrior. No kings over here. I'm glad you said warrior. I give appreciation on more service-based things, not appearance. Absolutely. And that's the path to a genuine compliment. Think about it. Most people know what they look like, right? So when you hear that basic, well, I ain't gonna say basic because it's good to the beginner. It's good to the beginner woman who wants to learn how to be a professional ego stroker. And if you are in my Worthy Pedestal Wife, you already have access to the information. I've already talked to you about how to be a professional ego stroker and how to immediately build trust with the man because of you're stroking his ego. Men want to know that they are good boys, good men. Like we want to make sure that we're talking to warriors, right? Good men. They want to know that they are giving satisfaction, that they are doing things that men are supposed to do. And they want that from a woman. And in order to make sure that you're giving that, only confirm and compliment the things that you want to continue. So I don't believe in this appearance thing. Most people will say, hey, just tell him how he looks. He knows how he looks. He's been that way for a very long time. He knows how he dresses. He's been that way a very long time. He knows how he smells. He really put the cologne on before he came to the day. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to, maybe he's learning a new skill. Or maybe he's learning how to speak Chinese. And he's like, well, I'm learning how to speak Chinese. Well, oh, let me hear a little bit of that. And he speaks it for you. Oh my gosh, I don't really know the language, but whatever you're saying, it sounds like you're on a great path. Like, continue. That is a compliment. That's a genuine compliment on something that he is maybe struggling or he's starting. And men like confirmation from the woman that they're with. They like to know that they're doing the right thing, especially in a relationship, or they're looking for support from us. So being a woman who pays attention and is present and who listens is very valuable. Don't go for the surface level stuff, because that's what it is. When you focus on someone's looks, you focus on someone's cologne or perfume, you focus on the colors that they have on, you focus on the makeup. These are the things they know. Most people know how they look in those particular things. Most people know how they smell. So that is not a genuine compliment. So we want to dig deeper than surface level stuff. And remember, what you compliment will continue. So we don't want to be out here doing fake compliments just to get a man to trust us. Because guess what? You're going to be 10 years into a relationship. For 10 years, you've told this man that you love your steak well done, but you really love it medium rare. So every time he goes and cooks that steak, he makes it for you well done. That is the reason why I don't advocate for women starting off like that, giving fake compliments in order to build trust. Because when you do so, you're going to have a continuation of the same behavior over and over and over. The thing is, I want you to get what you desire out of the relationship. I want you to be happy and satisfied in the relationship, not miserable because you start out the relationship just saying, oh, I love this. Oh, I like that. Oh, you're good at this. Oh, you're great at that. And honestly, think about it. How many men have you met that their egos are this big because some woman was trying to do something or accomplish something or some particular outcome, and he's thinking he's great at something that he isn't, or he's doing something great, he's doing something he thinks is a good thing, but it isn't. So with you, it's a blank slate. With you, you're going to compliment only on those things that you want to continue. And never forget, respect is so important. Do not negate respect. It doesn't matter if you talk about how gorgeous he is, how good he smells. If you don't offer respect and communicate respect with that man, it's still going to fall flat. If you are, and pay attention to what he considers disrespectful. Do y'all know that some men consider it to be disrespectful if you eat and order before he even orders? Some men consider that disrespectful. So pay attention. Take your cues from him. Let him be the leader, even in those things, so that you can learn him. To me, it's not even about him being the leader. It's just more about me learning him so that I can figure him out, read him well, and then I'll know how to give that genuine compliment and how to offer respect when due. The thing is, you have to pay attention. I think the biggest skill you're ever going to learn when it comes to being a professional ego stroker and you know, his increasing the masculine part in the man is to make sure you listen, pay attention, because men tell them themselves. They truly don't have the filter or they're not a mastermind like you all think. It's weird that y'all think men are masterminds. They aren't. They aren't. A lot of times they tell on themselves in what they're thinking, in the direction they're going to go, or the decision they're going to make. You just need to listen to find out and figure and look at the cues. Remember, body language is everything. If you don't understand body language, if you're clueless because you're used to people, you know, speaking and communicating with you in that manner, learn body language. It will help you, because a lot of times men are telling us something with their body language and we're not paying attention. Don't feel afraid to tell him how you feel. I think, well, it's not, I think, I feel that the best connection with a man is where, and especially when you want to create that trust and you want to stroke that ego and build that masculine pride, the best connection is when you're honest. See, honesty creates the best connection. A lot of the advice out here is to lie about something in order to get some particular outcome. And I'm going to tell you this, you don't want that, because that's going to be a continuation of the same thing. Remember, the more we do certain things and we show that we're okay with it, the more we have a continuation of that very thing or behavior. So you do not want to lie. You do not want to lie if you don't like something. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Is there a certain way to say it? Absolutely. There's a certain way to say that you don't like something. If you like medium rare steaks and he keeps bringing it to you, well, he brought it to you medium well done, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not used to eating this well done. I really prefer medium rare. Just give him the problem. Most masculine energy men want to satisfy you. They want to make you happy. They want to protect you. They want to provide for you. So don't be surprised. Once you give him that problem, he will give you a solution. He will either go and cook that a little bit more or start over and make another one. But don't start off giving him compliments and saying, I would like this, and you don't want to. I think that's the recipe for disaster. I feel like that's what women have been doing a lot in their relationships. They tend to agree to things they don't want to agree with, or they tend to compliment things that don't deserve a compliment. Be honest in what you desire in the relationship, and you'll get more of it. You'll get, not, I'm saying honest, you get more of what you desire versus settling for what he's willing to give. Stroking his ego is important when having challenging conversation. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the reason why it is important that we learn those skills. Now, having challenging conversations, I want you all to be careful with this too. Because when you're having a challenging conversation or maybe even a disagreement, make sure that we're not giving our compliment in a way he's going to think it's manipulative. Be careful about that. Men understand when a woman is when y'all are disagreeing and then she turns around and gives a compliment, he sees that as manipulative. So I want you to be aware of that. I'm not saying it can't work after the situation has been solved, but be careful about doing it while y'all are still in the moment of disagreement. Because when y'all are in the moment of disagreement, it's like you're trying to manipulate him to either drop it or get your way. And even if you want a specific outcome, learn how to be stealthy and move in silence. Do not announce yourself. And you will if he's talking about, well, I don't like this so and so, and you're like, oh, you look so gorgeous today. What? For some men, that may work. But trust me when I tell you, the high quality men that I think that most pedestal wives would want to be in alignment and marry, that will not work. So be very careful of when you jump in there to stroke that ego. Okay? Be careful where you place it at. I'm not saying you can't do it after the fact of everything's been solved. Like, let's say once the disagreement has been solved and y'all have come to a resolution, then you could compliment. You go, oh my gosh, we're getting so much better at this. Like, oh babe, I just love when you take charge. That is appropriate versus it's already it's an ongoing conversation, and then in the middle of it you stop and you say, oh, you're doing such a good job. He's gonna scratch his head. So be careful. Be careful. Like I said, be very careful because men will see that as a manipulative act and it will push him further away from you. And we don't want him to do that. That's the reason why I do these type of videos, because I want you to learn how to build trust, intimacy, bond with that man. So that man will trust you and release his shields, and you can build something upon that. But yes, absolutely. Learning how to stroke a man's ego and pride is essential. If you think you're not going to need it in a relationship, I'm going to tell you do. You're going to need it. Men absolutely need to have they absolutely need to make sure that the woman that they are with, that you are satisfied. Think of it as like a survey where he is literally looking at you saying, am I doing good here? Is this relationship going in the right direction? And that's on masculine energy. That's on masculine energy. Also, tip, let's stop right here. That is absolutely a way to see if he's in his masculine energy. If he is doing that check in that manner, not maybe asking you, but he is caring how you feel within the relationship, and he cares what you think about the relationship. Masculine energy men want to know that he's getting a good satisfaction rating from you. And if you lie to him, trust me, you're going to get the same thing over and over and over. That's the reason why. Be very careful what you compliment. Make sure that you're not complimenting something you do not want to continue. Only compliment those things you want to continue. All right, but I don't see any other questions, but I just want you to know, become a professional ego stroker. Make sure that you pay attention and listen, whatever it takes. A lot of you are still dating. Nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely a great place to be in the time that we're currently in. So the thing is to get into that energy of stroking a man's ego and his masculine pride. Get into the seduction energy. Whatever makes you feel like you are that girl, make sure you do that before the date. If it is a specific dress, wear that dress. If it is a specific lipstick, wear that lipstick. If it's a specific hairstyle, wear the hair in that manner. If it is a perfume, wear that perfume. Whatever makes you feel like you are that girl. And I mean, being able to look in the mirror and say, I look very good. I feel very good. Because you look good, you feel good. And that translates and helps you touch into that seductress energy. You want to be in that energy when you do that ego stroking. You want to make sure that you are in that energy so that it just flows. The thing is, a lot of women have gotten away from being able to even confirm satisfaction. Even, even complimenting men seems to be a hardship for some women. Like some women really struggle with, oh, when do I compliment him? When, do I have to compliment him? Is it required? I can tell you this. It is absolutely required. You need to learn how to stroke a male ego and masculine pride, especially as a woman who wants to be a kept woman. If you are your goal, your aim is to be a kept woman, you need to learn how to stroke his ego and build that masculine pride. It is for your benefit to do so. Even on a date, absolutely on a date. The thing is, you don't come out the gate on a date trying to stroke his ego. You need to have time to listen and be present in your body. You need to make sure you're paying attention to what he's struggling with or what he's proud of. It may be trial and error in the beginning, because some men immediately start to trust when you notice that he's trying, or you tapped into something he's very weak on, and you giving him a compliment that he's doing better in it, or it sounds better, or it looks better. And some men are they really release those guards when he's already done the thing, and you give him a compliment for it. So on the date, tap into that seduction energy. Make sure that you feel like you are that girl, nothing less, before you go on a date. 2, be present and listen. Pay attention to what he is weak in or what he's proud of. What he's weak in could be the ego stroke, or the place that you need to concentrate on the compliment, or what he's proud of could be. It could be either or it could be both. Trust me when I tell you that men are not a monolith. That's the reason why you have to be present and pay attention. Listening also is important. A lot of people don't realize that majority of people aren't listened to. That could be a turn on for some people. Some people in a real day-to-day life, no one is listening to them. Most of the time when they're having a conversation with another human being, what happens is that person is only listening to respond. They're not listening to comprehend. So be different and listen. Be present, have seductress energy, pay attention to what he's proud of or what he's weak in. Do trial and error to compliment him in either area to see which one works. Because one of them will work or both of them may work. Men are not a monolith, and we want to make sure that we're stroking that ego and building that masculine pride. Most men aren't going to choose a woman who do not stroke their ego in some way. even if it is just something as basic as bedroom behavior. Men are going to go for that woman who strokes their ego. And this is the reason why I also tell you to protect that feminine energy of yourself and don't compliment or stroke their ego unless it's something that is I ain't gonna say needed. I'm gonna say justified. Justified. Because we have too many women that will do this quickly. And one, he hasn't done anything to deserve it. He hasn't done anything to confirm satisfaction. Think about all of the men who get their ego stroked and they're not protecting, providing, or doing anything for the woman they're in a relationship with. Only type of time they're getting ego stroke is sexual, bedroom behavior. So we have to be very careful and pay attention to the ego stroking. Pay attention. If a man is only concerned with his own needs and his own wants, he's not even operating his masculine energy. It's immediately in that masculine energy to move like a warrior and care about the satisfaction of the woman that he's with. And if you get any feeling or any gist that he is not operating that masculine energy, immediately move around. Protect your energy at all costs, ladies. Because there are some men that have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and they are using women to stroke their egos because they know they haven't done anything to deserve it. See, feminine energy beings, we are the ultimate confirmation for satisfaction to a masculine energy man. If we are content, soft, satisfied, protected, provided for, we can confirm satisfaction. It comes easily. If you find yourself trying hard to think, to contemplate something to confirm satisfaction with that man, he isn't the right one. And I just gave you a quick, easy test to move around from men who will waste your time. Do you have to flirt as well? Yes, you can flirt. There's nothing wrong with flirting. I think flirting is a skill that is lost, and we need to pick that back up. Women can absolutely get the things that they desire in relationships without giving anything until a person has earned, until that guy has earned it. So flirting is wonderful. If you're, really low in flirting, get the flirting skills up. It's important. What do you mean in the bedroom? Well, some men know that they don't have anything to offer society, and only thing they have is bedroom activities. So they stroke their ego stroke by the bedroom activities. They become very good at that because they're not good at anything else. And some women fall right in that trap or just stroking the ego in that manner because that's the only thing he has to offer. And trust me, that is not, that's the wounded masculine looking for just that, for ego stroking in that manner. Oh, yes. Hello, pedestal wife. Hello, hello. All right, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and please share the video. We're trying to grow here, and I appreciate the growth that we're having. But if you're in the Worthy Pedestal Wife, I've already have a video there. I think it's called the Professional Ego Stroker. So you have a lot of information to help you proceed. But it is important that as the feminine energy being in the relationship, that you learn how to be good at complementing the masculine energy by stroking his ego and building that masculine pride. That's absolutely essential. Remember, he's literally looking at us as though we are surveying him. We're literally saying, yes, that's right. No, that's incorrect. Yes, this is right. No, you need to work on that. And that is what the feminine energy being does for the masculine energy man. He is going to look to you to confirm satisfaction. And do not do it if he isn't satisfying, if he isn't protecting, if he isn't providing, if he isn't doing the things to enhance or make your life easy, he doesn't get that satisfaction. Don't fall prey to these men who are in their wounded masculine trying to get free ego stroking because they absolutely desire and need it. You have to realize there are some of those men that are there, but we're going to learn how to identify those men and move around. We protect our feminine energy over here. We don't deal with time wasters and wounded masculine energy. Is there any book we can read on ego stroking? I don't know. Pedestal Wives, y'all have anything that she can read on ego stroking? My thing for ego stroking is life experience. That's what mine comes from. So I don't know if there's a book. If there is, maybe the pedestal wife community, because we tend to have and read books. So if any of you ladies have a suggestion for her, please drop that in the chat, because I've never read a book on how to stroke his ego. These are things that I've picked up over the years. And I just decided to talk about it because I think it's important. A lot of women have problems just stroking the ego or complimenting a man. And the thing is, the more a man trusts you, the more a man lets down his guard, the more he will do to confirm your satisfaction. So it's absolutely a need for you to learn how to stroke his ego. And the thing is, if we concentrate on genuine compliments, that would be so helpful. Here's a pedestal. I thank you, babe. The fascinating woman or the fascinating girl. That is, do you remember the author of that one? I don't remember. I don't remember the author of that one. But I think I know what you're talking about. Maybe after this live stream, I'll get you the author. Maybe you can find the book based off what she dropped there. The guy who wrote Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus has great advice too. Pedestal wife said Helen Andeline. Okay. There you go. She's giving you a starting place. But genuine compliments are very important. Even when I learned this, I thought about the fact that when people meet me, they're like, "Oh, you're so pretty." I've heard that since a little girl, so it doesn't hit the same. Versus if someone says, "Oh my gosh, Braille, you're learning more about tech," because y'all know I'm not a techie, so I'm learning more about it. And when someone gives me a compliment, that hits harder. I mean, hits better for me. And so if I know if it hits better for me, it's going to hit better for men. Men want genuine compliments. They don't want you to give them no fake compliment. They want to know it's coming from a genuine place. And it's going to go further along of stroking his ego and building that masculine pride. There's also a YouTube channel for the fascinating woman that breaks down the books. Absolutely. See, she's giving the tea. See, I just love this community. I love this community. We love helping each other and making sure that we're on the right path. But genuine compliments goes a long way. And when you focus on what he's either working on or what he is strong in, figure out, like I said, trial and error, either one, or it might be both things that gives him that sense of trust and wants to release those shields. And he's going to appreciate it a whole lot more. But we all need to get beside ourselves and get out of your own way. Like, if anything that you take from this video, young ladies, young pedestal wives, baby pedestal wives, please get out your way. Please get out your way. Trust me when I tell you, a man's ego is in the palm of your hand. A masculine energy ego is in the palm of your hand. He's literally looking for you to say, "Hey, am I doing this right? Should I do this? Is this correct? Is she feeling great? Is she safe? Is she protected? Is she secure? Is she financially stable?" He's literally looking at these things. And if you come in contact with a man who only thing he is concerned about is himself in the relationship, he's already the wrong man. Don't waste your time or energy trying to compliment him or stroke his ego. You cannot stroke a male ego and put him in male masculine energy. Don't do it. I see and hear all kinds of silliness. Well, I ain't gonna say silliness. Things on social media like that. You cannot stroke a man's ego and have him switch to masculine energy. So don't do that to yourself. I think you're setting yourself up for failure if you choose to do that. Don't think, "Oh, I'm going to give him compliments. I'm going to stroke his ego. I'm going to build his masculine pride. And this is in turn going to turn him into a masculine energy man." He will not. When you decide to stroke that man's ego and compliment him, he's going to show himself either masculine or feminine in the first place. Masculine energy men will, they're going to lean in. They're going to want to get closer. It's going to be a start of building trust for him, because he's going to be wanting you to continue to confirm your satisfaction. These men, they're in their wounded masculine or feminine energy. They're going to want it for themselves. It's all going to be about greediness. It's all about them. And it's all about taking. And you do not want to deal with that particular type of man. So it's easy he's going to reveal himself. So if you want to use that as a test, go ahead. If you want to use it as a test, you can. Y'all know I'm okay with tests. I'm okay with tests. I just think in the beginning of the relationship, the best thing to do is observation, because you're going to be able to observe everything you need to know. Men are not masterminds. They are not these people in these time. Oh, let me get her. They're not that. They're not that intelligent. I guarantee you that feminine intelligence ranks way above masculine intelligence. Way above masculine intelligence. So they're not going to be able to trick you. A lot of times that women are tricked is because of the fact they weren't paying attention. And men revealed themselves very early on. You just didn't know what to look for. You didn't know what a good guy is. Not a nice guy, a good guy. Trust me, I don't trust nice guys because there are no such thing as nice guys. Nice guys are looking for an outcome. I think pedestal, that's a question for you. What is better, fascinating woman or girl? Yeah, I think that's a question for you. I don't see any other questions, so I'm gonna get ready to close out. But Pedestal Wife, if you wouldn't mind answering that question, which one you think is better? And I think something is very interesting. I keep hearing people suggest the guy who wrote Men Are from Mars and Women Are for Venus. Y'all know I've never read that book. I've come in contact with a lot of women who talk about that book, and I've never read it. Maybe I need to sit down and read that book. I've never read that book. I don't know why I haven't, because it's really old at this point, and I've never read it. It's always been suggested to me in my Kindle because I do read a lot of relationship books, feminine energy, masculine energy books, spiritual books. So I have a whole catalog, but I've never read that book. I need to probably read it because that's like the second time it's been suggested to me. I pay attention to something when it keeps coming back to me over and over and over. By the way, I love you, girl. I love you too. I love you too. Y'all know I absolutely adore this community. If it wasn't for this community, I wouldn't be here because I contemplated leaving social media a long time ago. A long time ago. It was this community that stood behind me and said, stay, continue to do content. It was this community that did suggestions to me on how to do some of this techie stuff that I don't know how to do, because honestly, I've never been a person who was in technology. I never cared for social media. Was it? I haven't. I've only been on social media probably like 3 years. 3 years. Yeah, coming up on 3 years. Coming up on 3 years. So I've never been a techie. So it was this community that gave me ideals, helped me with keywords, told me to continue on and make videos. So I appreciate and love this community, and I come online for this community. That is the reason I come online, because trust me, social media can get beat enough and too much sometimes. Hello, hello, hello. But the point is, um, make sure that you get out of your own way, learn how to stroke a man's ego and build his masculine pride. It's important. They absolutely need that. Think of the stroking the ego and masculine pride like a survey. If you're not participating, no one knows what you want. And masculine energy needs to know that he's on the right track. He's doing the right thing to support you. He's protecting, he's providing, he's giving, making sure you're safe and secure. He can't do that unless you are giving confirming satisfaction to him. So love and let him know how you feel, and so he'll know what to do. And men who don't care to confirm, who don't care if you confirm satisfaction because they only care about their satisfaction, we're not concerned with them. Those are not our target. Those men are not the potential for us. Those men we're going to move around and move away from, because it is our job as feminine energy beings to protect our feminine energy. And I will see you all on the next one. You all have a wonderful Friday. Bye.